Hello everybody, welcome to our channel. This is my follow-up video for Stampforce 26 and we were sponsored by Stampers Anonymous and we got this department store stamp set. So you've got some sheet music, Merry Christmas sentiment, some little tags, notes, a 25. So, and then also I have them in my MISTI because I don't want to move them. A nice big bell and wreath. So what I'm going to be showing you guys really quickly is how to cut these out, stamp them out and cut them out using your ScanNCut. And I'm also going to show you how to create the SVG files so that you can also cut them out on patterned paper. Because if you try and scan this into the ScanNCut, it's really not going to like it. It's going to get very confused, and so it's going to be very difficult for it to try and figure out the outline of this. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to do a scan to cut data because I'm going to get the image, the cut file, sent to the computer. So we're going to just do that first. And I've only got the top half, so I can do a scan 12 by 6. Okay, so it's got the images. I want to just do the outline. And then I can bring in to get rid of all the little bits and pieces that it's finding. Okay, that'll work for now. Preview. Okay, so it's definitely going to have an issue. The wreath looks beautiful. It looks perfect, but it's got a little bit of an issue with the bell. So we're going to probably have to do a different method for the bell, but let's go ahead and just hit OK. And we're going to send it to the cloud because I'm going to go and grab it on the computer. All right, let's go check out the computer. All right, so I'm in Canvas Workspace, and the first thing I'm going to do is go to File, Import from your cutting machine, and I'm just going to do the FCM file, which is the cut file. I can show you what the scanned, I'll do the scanned image really quick just to show you what that looks like. But it's not anything we need because it's just the image. So I'm going to undo that and go back to File, Import from your cutting machine, FCM file. So this is what I was talking about with the bell. So it's giving us a bunch of extra stuff here that we don't want. So we're going to go ahead and just delete that one and this little miscellaneous stuff. And then this is good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do a file, and I'm going to do a save, and I'm going to do, this is going to be just the wreath at the moment. Okay, and then what I can do to this is I can go over here to edit and all the way at the bottom, and I can do an offset. And so the offset, I'm actually going to do 0.08. I did 0.04 already, and it was a little tight for the pattern paper. I want to see a little bit more of the pattern paper around the outside of the image. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 0.08, hit OK, delete the original line. So this is my new line. And I can do another save as, and I can do wreath, and then I can do 0.08 offset. Okay, so the next thing that we need to try and do though is get the bells. So I don't believe, let me see if it's still showing as an image on my machine. Okay, it is. So the image from the machine is what I just brought in here. Now I already have the scanned or the cut file for the wreath, so I don't need the wreath. So let's go ahead and just select the little bell. And this might change if I change the option over here, because right now, let's do preview and see if it gives me, let me zoom in. So it's not giving me all of it. So let's change some colors. See if that gives me a better. Nope, it's giving me less, just to double check. Yeah, so we need to go down to less colors, which is kind of what I was figuring. Okay, no, so that's not going to work. So the next option is going to do trace areas by color. So let's see what that does. And let's give it some more colors. It's probably going to give us too much. Yeah, that's not going to work either. So unfortunately for some, if you don't have the enhanced image tracing, which is an additional cost, then it's going to be a little difficult to get this to work right. So as you can see with this though, it works perfectly. So let me zoom in. So now you can see it's perfectly outlined the image. And just so you guys are aware, the advanced options, the output smoothing level, is how tightly it like tucks into the nooks and crannies, so to speak. So if I do middle and go to preview, then you'll see in here now it's got a little bit more, it's not cutting it as close, which I definitely want it to cut it as close as possible. I want the definition because I'm going to add an offset to this one as well. And so I want to make sure that when I add the offset, it's going to hug everything nicely. So we're going to hit OK. Now the good thing about this is it'll bring it in with the other image of the wreath. Okay, so I have the image here, but if I go to my layers, so I have the shape of the bell, I have the image of what I scanned, and then I have the shape of the wreath. So in this case, I can just delete the image. Let me ungroup them first. And then I can get rid of the image because I don't need that. All I want is the cut files. So this one, I'm going to select it, go to my edit, scroll all the way down, go to offset, and I'm going to do the 0.08. I'm going outward, round to corners, and I want to delete the original line. And there you go. So now I can do a save as, and I didn't save the original image. You can always go backwards, you know, go inward. It won't be as defined as it first was, but so we're going to do wreath end bell, bells. Okay, I can't get my ELLS. There we go. With a 0.08 offset, I'm going to hit save. Now what you want to do is send this back to the machine. So we're just going to go to File. We're going to go Export Transfer FCM File, and then transfer via the internet, and that's it. So let's head back over to the machine. All right, so we're just going to pick up where we left off. All I did was hit OK after it said it was transferred. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK. Oh, that already took me there. I just need to go home. Sorry. OK to delete all patterns. So from this point, we're going to retrieve data because I sent my file back to the machine. So we're going to get it from the cloud. Okay, so there's our two cut files. So now what I want to do is one of the things I'll show you, let me zoom out. One of the things that I did when I was stamping these out was I stamped a bunch of them. I did not move the stamp, and I stamped a bunch of them on patterned paper. So they're in the same spot. They're in the same place. So relatively easy, hopefully, to line up the cut file to these images once I tape these down onto the mat. So that's what I'm going to do right now because I don't need this image. I can use it as a test, but I really don't need it. So I'm going to go ahead and tape down a couple of these, and then we are going to do a little trick where I'm going to send the images to the computer, line up the cut files on the computer, and then we're going to send the cut files back like we just did right here. So these cut files we're not actually going to use right now, but if I wanted to cut these out, I literally would only have to go in and scan. I'll show you really quick. So if you want to cut what I just scanned in and, you know, created a cut file and everything, you're going to come here and you're going to scan the mat, which let me just do that. So you're going to scan the mat, and it's going to then include what's on the mat with the cut files. It'll combine the two images. And it should line up because I did not eject the mat. And so it should line up perfectly. So we'll go in, and if I go to edit, I can zoom in so you can see how perfectly it's lined up around the bell and around the wreath. You can see the outline of the cut file. So if that's what you wanted to do, you can go ahead and do that right now, but I want to cut out the patterned paper ones. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put those on the mat, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I loaded the mat, and I've got 2 of the panels on here. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scan. Come on, scan. And I'm going to do direct cut, and I'm going to send it to the computer. And it's going to do 12 by 12 because I don't have, that's weird to figure it out. I don't have a option. Okay, it's transferring. Okay, it says it's finished transferring. I'm going to hit OK. So now what it's going to say, it says is operate on Canvas workspace. So step number 1 is I'm going to go and recall the scanned image, transfer from the machine, and convert it to cutting data. I'm not going to convert it to cutting data. I'm actually going to put the cutting data, I'm going to add the cutting data to it. The cutting data we already created, I'm going to add that to this image and line it up, and then I'm going to send it back to the machine with the cutting data, and then I'm going to retrieve it using this button. So let's go to the computer. Okay, so this is where we left off. So this is the cut file that I sent back to the machine. Still here. It's a file that's saved, so I can always retrieve it when I want it. So I'm going to go now to File, Import from your cutting machine, the scanned image. So there it is. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send this image to back, and then you can see the, let me zoom in. You can see that the 2 cut files right here. So what I'm going to do now then is I'm going to, I can probably take them both. I just held down Control and I selected them both, and I'm going to group them because I want to move them at the same time, because the stamp, when I stamped them out, it was the exact same image every single time, you know, in relation to each other. So if I move one, I want to move the other. So if I line up one, it should line up with the other. The only thing that might be a little wonky is if I didn't put these on perfectly straight, the papers. Okay, that looks really good. So now let me scroll over and look at, oop, not that far. Look at the wreath. The wreath looks like maybe I could go like up and over. So let's go select them, select the group so that I move them both. There we go. I'm using my keys on the up and down arrows on my keyboard. All right, I think that looks good. Let me go back and look at the bell. That looks good. Now, if you remember, I have 2 of these. So if I scroll down, I've got this one down here too. So what you can do now, since you have them both selected, I have the group selected, right mouse click, duplicate, and then I'm going to just drag this one down here, and I'm just going to lay it over. And again, unless I put the paper on a little wonky, I tried to put it on as straight as I could. I think that needs to go down and over. That looks good. Let's look at the wreath. I think those both look awesome. Okay, and so at this point then, what you're going to do is you're going to export, and it's giving you a warning, basically saying the image data won't be exported or transferred, which, yeah, we get that. I'm just using that as reference, and so it's just going to send the cut file. So we're going to hit OK. I want to transfer it via the internet. And now we're going to head back over to the machine. Okay, so I'm back on the machine. I have not unloaded my mat. It's still exactly where I left it when we sent everything over. So now when I send the cut file back, it should match up perfectly, as I showed you guys earlier. Okay, so I'm going to retrieve. So it's automatically retrieving it from the cloud. And there are my cut files. And then it is showing, let's see, I already have the offset done, so I'm not changing the offset. So let's hit OK. And then it's automatically going to ask me to cut or, do whatever I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and do cut. Because it should match up perfectly. So there's no reason why it shouldn't cut it perfectly. So I've got it, and this is the SDX 125, so I don't need to do, it has the auto blade, so I don't need to do a test cut, but if you have the older machine, you may want to do a test cut just to make sure that, it cuts through your paper. And if you have two different weights of paper, keep that in mind too. So I'm going to hit start. Okay, they are done. So I'm going to finish cutting, unload the mat. And I'm going to pop these off. I love them. Y'all know how I hate doing fussy cutting. Y'all know how I hate fussy cutting, period. So here we go. And then I also, I stamped it out with the VersaFine Clear Nocturne, but then I also did a clear embossing powder. Heat embossed it with clear embossing powder, so it's got a little shine to it. And then this one, I didn't do the clear embossing powder. I just stamped it. So that looks pretty cool. I like that. This one. Love it. And I like how I added a bit more to the outside on these because I wanted to see the pattern paper. I love this one. All right, let's go make some cards. Okay, so let's make some cards. I have all the pieces. So these are the ones that I just cut out, and they've got a nice offset. They got a nice offset. And then the ones that I did earlier were cut a little bit closer, and I didn't like them as much because you can't see the pattern paper around the outside edge, which is what I wanted. So these are a couple of the other ones that I did. So let's go ahead. I've got a stack of embossed panels. Y'all know how much I love embossing stuff. So I thought I could probably mix and match some things for some cards together. That's pretty. Yes, please. Okay, so then the other thing that I did was I had a bunch, I needed sentiments. So the stamp set, again, department stores, the stamp set, it has Merry Christmas for one of the sentiments. And then I pulled out another Stampers Anonymous set that I had, which is, oh, it's upside down, Scribbly Christmas. And it's got lots of sentiments in 2 different fonts. So I thought that's pretty cool. And so I grabbed some of those, laid them out, and then stamped them in red, green, and black, figuring that should work with whatever colors I have. And so I have these to work with for my sentiments. So let me get some of these put on some cards, some card bases, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've got the panels on. Some of them need a little bit of a trim up top here or on the side. I'll do that later. So I got the panels on, and I'm really digging. I like the green and on the white. Very pretty. Yeah, I like that one. I got to trim down. But otherwise, these are ready for sentiments. So I like this one. I think some people might think that it's very weird having a Christmas card on black card base, but I'm digging it. So let me go through now and match up my cards with my sentiments. Okay, matched up all the sentiments with the cards. So now I'm going to see about maybe doing a vignette around the outside. I don't know. I think I should. I'm afraid. I hate doing those things, so I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up. Guess if I mess it up, I will just do a different sentiment because I still have some left over. So, all right, let's give it a whirl. So if you don't want to matte your sentiment, this is a good way to bring attention to it and make it stand out from the background. All right. Love it. All right. Now I'm going to put the sentiments on the cards, the card panels, and cut those down too. So I will be right back. I'm finishing up the last few, and I wanted to come back and talk to y'all and just let you know that first off, I wanted to thank Ted and Rhonda at Stampers Anonymous again for sponsoring Stamp Wars 25. I think I said 26 earlier, so I'll probably put a little oopsie and fix it. But yeah, it's Stamp Wars 25. Holy cow. But we do have a discount, so if you are interested in purchasing some stamps from Stampers Anonymous, go check it out. They've got a lot of great stuff, and the discount is 15% off, and they also have free shipping right now, and that is through December 3rd. So that is stampersanonymous.com, and I will put that link in the description. And I'll be happy when I'm out of this no, it's not because I have the nails. This is just really hard to get off no matter what. I don't like this foam tape, the backing on this foam tape, because then once you even get it off, it's very staticky and it sticks to you. So I'll be happy when this roll is over. I think about like 3 rolls and I'm on the last one. Ugh. Anyway, so I also wanted to say that Scott from Crafty Critta was our host. He was a load of fun. Definitely go check out Stamp Wars on Nancy Stamp's channel. Holy cow, I can't get this one off for some reason. Is it like stage fright? Whatever. Oh my gosh. And he was a hoot. He's from Australia. If you guys haven't shopped at Crafty Critta, then he does hot foil and stuff. A lot of fun stuff there. But we also had T was our special guest. So she hung out with us and participated. So be sure to go check out Nancy Stamp's channel for the actual Stamp Wars show. And then also she did a follow-up video. And then you have Tracy Schultz. You have Chow, which is Create with Chow. And then you also have T, which is Not Afraid of Color. And they are all doing follow-up videos. I think I'm the last one. I usually am. So they're all doing follow-up videos. So go check them out because they're all doing giveaways as well. So Nancy actually has a stamp set to give away. And then T also had the stamp set already because she's a huge Stampers Anonymous fan. And so she's also going to be giving away her stamp set. And then I will be having a giveaway. Chow will be having a giveaway, and so will Tracy. And it'll just be a mishmash of stuff that we have. This one I love. I really, really love this card. Yeah, so go and check those out for sure. Make sure you comment on whatever question they ask. I'm going to ask, this is my question that you will comment down below, and that will enter you into the giveaway, which is U.S. residents only, 18 and older, please. Please and sorry. I want to know what your favorite Christmas song is. I can't even tell you which one I think it's the Bell. I don't even know what the real name is, but it's like the Bells. I don't know. I've got a few. So definitely let me know which one is your favorite Christmas song. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, just tell me what's your favorite song. I'm totally cool with that. Not everybody celebrates Christmas. I understand that. But we are doing holiday and Christmas cards, so that would be my question. As I finish up this last card, I definitely think I've shown you guys how to mass produce a bunch of cards for sure. Using the ScanNCut, which I thought, you know me, I ain't gonna be doing no fussy cutting. That's what my ScanNCut's for. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to add some little gems on some of these that need a little bit more sparkle, or just a little bit something something. And then I have made 1, 2, 3. See, this sticks everywhere. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. Awesome. I've got 10 Christmas cards. And whoever wins my prizes will get one of these. Or, let me see if I can find. Hold please. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I wanted to show you the cards that I made for Stamp Wars. We had to make a 6x6 card and basically a mini slimline, which is a 3x6 card. So I made this one using embossing powder. You'll have to watch. I explained which one I used. I stamped a little bit of the music notes here, used a Jingle Bells Pink Rush Studios sentiment that I had, and did it on red cardstock, and it's taped shut because it's really wants to open. So that was my one. And then this was, I had extra time, so I just made an envelope. I love my envelope. It's very pretty because it is a 6x6 card and I don't have 6x6 envelopes. So anytime I do a 6x6 card, I have to make an envelope. So I did this one on green cardstock. We also had to do a sentiment on the inside, which says Merry Everything and Happy Always, Have a Merry Christmas. So I also had to do purple on one of the cards, and so this one has a purple ribbon, and then I add some purple sequins. Add a little bit of purple thread as well. I colored this using the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers that I got, and then added also some shimmer. Well, and the paper is also shimmer, so even through the Tri-Blend markers, I added shimmer, like the Spectrum Noir shimmer pens, shimmer marker, to the berries and the ribbon, but you can see shimmer throughout the whole entire thing because the paper is also, it's a white shimmer paper. So those were my creations from Stamp Wars. Had a lot of fun, and so you guys need to go check that out. Be sure to go watch it if you haven't seen it. I'll also leave links to all the other ones that we've ever had in the past. And yeah, again, thank you to Stampers Anonymous for sponsoring us. Had a lot of fun, and I'm glad I was able to. I love using my pattern paper, and so this worked out really well. I think these turned out super cute. Drink. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.